Hope, Change, and the Death of Israel. Hi, my name is Tom Trento, the director of the Florida Security Council, which is a counter-jihad educational organization based in Florida, dedicated to the defense of the U.S. Constitution, to the defense of the State of Israel, and to the defeat of terrorist ideologies, in particular the ideology of radical Islam. And over the past 3 years, I have spent quite a bit of time with conservative Jewish folks in South Florida, in other parts of the United States, indeed in parts around the world. And they have expressed to me, I am an evangelical Christian, a conservative Christian, full disclosure here. But I thank you for taking a few minutes to spend time with me. The conservative Jewish friends of mine have expressed a tremendous amount of frustration with their liberal Jewish relatives. I got to tell you, they simply do not understand, the conservative Jews do not understand what the heck is going on in the heads of you Jewish folks, you liberal Jews who voted for President Obama. They don't get it. And they tell me, Tom, if you could only talk to my cousin or my brother or my aunt, my grandmother, whatever, and knock some sense into them. Well, I don't want to have to knock sense into you. I want to share some information that I think will be persuasive or at least challenging so that those 80% of you liberal Jewish folks reconsider your support for an individual who is choosing not to support Israel. That's what the purpose of this few minutes together is all about. Hope, change, and the death of Israel. Basically, it's coming down to a tale of two men, if you will. On the one hand, President Obama, who's enjoying tremendous ratings in the United States, in the high 60s, and he capitalized on that good political will today, June 4th, 2009, by traveling to Cairo, Egypt, and delivering his much-awaited speech to the Muslim world at the University of Cairo, sponsored, by the way, by Al-Azhar, an Islamist university. He delivered his speech, and those of us who are in the counter-jihad movement are shaking our heads, not believing the dismantling of the anti-terrorism framework in the United States that President Obama has initiated. We cannot believe, and we spent all last year warning people, we cannot believe how President Obama, in my opinion, a very confused individual, not knowing if he's a Christian, if his Muslim upbringing somehow infuses with his Christian background as a student of Saul Alinsky, bringing in the Alinsky methodology of community organizing, being mixed racially, being from a broken family. There's so many interpersonal psychological dynamics infused in a highly talented communicator. I spent most of last year traveling around the United States, speaking to many people and those who supported President Obama, asking why. I was looking for factual reasons. And I got, he's such a great speaker and he's so smart. And both of those are true. But to this select group to whom I'm speaking, liberal Jewish people, those 80% that voted for him, do not be deceived or confused by the capability of a speaker or by the hipness of an attitude. We're at a point of demarcation, June 4th, 2009, with the speech that was delivered today, determining the future of the state of Israel, which in many respects will determine the status and the stability of Western civilization. And I don't say that lightly. Over against President Obama, who wields tremendous power to move geopolitical affairs globally. We have an individual who was born in 1949 in Tel Aviv, grew up in Jerusalem, went to high school in the United States. At 18 years old, at 18 in 1967, he made a decision to go back to his homeland and joined the Israeli Defense Force. And it was there that the young Benjamin Netanyahu became a member of an elite special commando unit at 18 years old, participating in military commands, being involved in a hostage rescue situation with a Sabian airline event. From there, he fought in the Yom Kippur War, participated in that. Then went into business, into the private sector, but could never take himself away as a patriot for defending his homeland. And you know the story very well. Became the ambassador to the UN for Israel in 1984. And 1996 became the prime minister of Israel. And then once again today serves as the prime minister of the state of Israel. And though I'm entitling this talk together, Hope, Change, and the Death of Israel, we really have, ladies and gentlemen, the tale of two men. We have President Barack Obama with tremendous political strength, with the Arab nations, for the most part, now behind him, with much of Europe now behind him, with much of the United States now behind him, over against a tiny country of 6 million people led by a super patriot. And it's coming down for you liberal Jews that voted for Obama. It's coming down to a point where you have to take your heads out of the sand and out of the New York Times maybe, to look at the real world and to look at the wager that is being played out in this global game, global game of skill and chance and danger, all with Israel in the balance. What we have simply is a situation where President Obama wants to end the strife in the Middle East, and being led by the Saudis, who want to suppress Iran and seem to be the heroes, the Sunni heroes in the eyes of the Palestinians, putting pressure on Obama to put pressure on Netanyahu to end the settlements, to divide up the state of Israel into two states, and ultimately to split the holy city into 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, who knows where it would end, parts. So, folks, I ask you, as you consider your conservative Jewish brothers and sisters worldwide and their confusion, how a Jew who should fully understand the rich history of Israel and the necessity today of this 49 square mile piece of dirt, Jerusalem, to maintain the integrity, the historic and spiritual, biblical, political integrity of the Jewish people. The conservative Jews reach out and ask the liberal Jews, and many of my peers, evangelical Christians, are doing the same, reaching out to liberal Jewish folks and saying, please return to Israel. And don't look for a cheap peace, which is not peace. Look for a stable, secure country, which may not mean peace for Israel. It may have to be the fact that it maintains itself in a constant state of security for the next 50 or 100 years until there's a generational change. Who knows? But to sell off Israel piece by piece because President Obama wants to do this, or he's slick and smooth and hip, is to make decisions for the wrong reasons. So please return with your conservative Jewish brothers and sisters to the full support of Benjamin Netanyahu in the state of Israel. And I just hope and pray that you will take seriously these words in the coming days and make that decision. Thank you very much, Tom Trento. See you around.